The lights were still off when I walked in. I smiled, juggling the bouquet in one hand and our favorite takeout in the other. "Lila," I called. No answer, just soft thuds from upstairs. I climbed the stairs quietly, thinking maybe I'd catch her mid-dance to one of her old playlists. The bedroom door was half open, and then I froze. Her voice, whispering, laughing. Jake's voice, lower, intimate. I pushed the door. There they were, tangled, naked, together. "Ethan," she gasped. Jake scrambled off the bed like a thief caught in the act. "Bro, wait. Don't call me that," I said, my voice shaking. "Don't you ever call me that again." Laya clutched the sheet to her chest. "This isn't what it looks like," I snapped. "Don't insult me more than you already have." Jake stood there, pants half on. "It was a mistake," he said. I laughed cold, sharp. "You think that makes it better?" "Please," Laya said. "Just let me explain." "Explain what?" "How you let my brother into our bed while I was out working overtime for us." "Ethan," she whispered. "It's not what you think." "Then what is it?" I asked. "Tell me. Tell me what this is. Tell me why." She looked at Jake. He looked away. I was lonely," she said. "You were gone all the time. I didn't mean to. Didn't mean to." I stepped back. "You meant every second of it." Jake reached out. "It didn't start like this." "How did it start, Jake? A hug? A drink? A look? What part of betraying your brother felt right to you?" He said nothing. "That's what I thought." "Please," Laya said again. "Don't go." I stared at her. "Stay after this. After you broke everything we built." "It wasn't love," she whispered. "It was confusion." "Save it," I said. "I hope it was worth it." She reached for my arm. "Ethan, I made a mistake." "You made a choice." Jake tried again. "We didn't plan it. It just happened." "No, Jake," I said. "You don't just happen to sleep with your brother's wife. That's not an accident. That's betrayal." I backed out of the room, my heart pounding in my ears. "Where are you going?" Laya asked. "Anywhere but here." "You're just going to leave?" she shouted. I turned back. "You already did." Her eyes welled up. I didn't care. I wanted to, but I couldn't. "Don't do this," Jake muttered. "You already did this, little brother," I said. "You did this the second you touched her." He stepped forward. "You're going to throw us both away over one mistake." "One mistake." I laughed again. "You really think I owe you anything? We're family." "No," I said. "Not anymore." Laya whispered something I couldn't hear. I didn't ask her to repeat it. I walked out down the stairs, out the front door. The night air hit me hard. I dropped the food on the porch. The bouquet fell into the grass. I stood there, looking up at the house I used to love. The home I thought I'd built. The life I thought was real. Then I walked away. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't stay. I sat at the dining table, gripping my coffee like it might keep me grounded. My mother sat across from me, her face tight with forced calm. Dad stood by the window, arms crossed. "I'm telling you this because I need to," I said. I walked in on Laya and Jake together in our bed. Mom blinked. "Are you sure?" "Seriously?" I laughed bitterly. "You think I imagined it? Maybe there's a misunderstanding." "There's no misunderstanding when they're naked." Dad cleared his throat. "It's unfortunate, but it's done. Now the question is, what comes next?" "What comes next? How about some outrage? Some support?" "Ethan," Mom said softly, "we know it hurts, but Laya, she's pregnant." I froze. "What?" "She's having a baby," she said, barely above a whisper. My jaw tightened. "Is it his?" "She says yes," Dad replied flatly. I stood up. "You knew this. And you still brought me here to talk peace." "She made a mistake," Mom said. "No, Jake made a choice. They both did. She's carrying a child now." Dad said, "That changes things." "No, it doesn't," I snapped. "It makes it worse." "You're being emotional," he muttered. "I'm being betrayed." Mom reached for my hand. I pulled away. "She's part of this family now. And so is the baby." "No, Mom. She was. She's not anymore. And Jake? He's dead to me." Dad frowned. "That's extreme." "Oh, sorry," I snapped. "Did you want me to hug them at the baby shower?" They need support, Mom said. This isn't easy for them either, she added. I laughed short, bitter. They're not the victims here. We're asking you to forgive, Dad said. No, I spat. You're asking me to disappear so they can play house in peace. That's not fair. What's not fair is watching my parents bend over backward for the people who ruined my life. It's complicated, Mom whispered. No, it's really simple. He slept with my wife. She's having his child. And you want me to act like it's normal. It's about the baby, she said. She says he deserves love. Then you love him. I'm out, Ethan, Dad said firmly. You're being selfish. Selfish. I scoffed. After everything I've done for this family, for Jake, he's your brother. Was. Mom stood too. Don't say that. I mean it. You want to play happy family with traitors? Be my guest. I'm done. Where will you go? She asked. Anywhere but here. Dad sighed. You can't just run. I'm not running, I said. I'm surviving. You're breaking the family, Mom said, tears in her eyes. No, I whispered. He did. You just helped him sweep up the pieces. Neither of them said anything. I walked toward the door. Ethan, please, Mom called after me. I turned back one last time. Tell Jake congratulations. He finally took something for me I can't get back. The door closed behind me harder than I intended. I didn't look back. I didn't go home, because I didn't have one anymore. I stared at the ceiling, barely blinking. The next day, the light from the window didn't reach me. I hadn't eaten since. I couldn't remember. My phone buzzed again. Marcus, pick up, man. Don't shut me out. I ignored it. The next day, he was at my door. Open up, Ethan. I know you're in there. I stayed still. He knocked again. I brought food and beer. You don't even have to talk. That got me. I opened the door, slowly. He looked at me. Really looked. You look like crap, he said, stepping in. Thanks, I mumbled, my voice raw. He set the food on the table. You've been eating? Not really. Sleeping. I shrugged. Barely. He sat beside me. You want to talk? I stayed quiet. Okay, he said, nodding. Then I'll talk. I don't know all the details, but I heard enough. Jake seriously caught them in bed. Marcus winced. Damn. Yeah. And your parents? I laughed flat and cold. They want me to support them. Support the new family. You kidding? Nope. He shook his head. That's insane. They said I was selfish for walking away. You're not, he said instantly. Then why do I feel like I'm the one who broke everything? Because you were the only one holding it all together. I swallowed hard. They act like I'm the villain because it's easier than facing what Jake did. I rubbed my eyes. I keep hearing her say my name like it meant something. You loved her, and he knew that. Marcus leaned forward. Ethan, you need to get out of this house. I don't have anywhere to go. You've got my couch. Hell, my floor. You're not a burden. You're my brother in every way that counts. And you're not going to rot in this silence. I finally met his eyes. It hurts. I know. I don't even know who I am without them. You're still you, he said, just bruised, not broken. I went quiet again. You're allowed to feel this, he added, but don't live in it. What if I can't move on? You will, he said. Not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But one day you'll wake up and not feel like the air is suffocating. I don't believe that. That's okay. I'll believe it for you. Silence filled the room. You ever think about revenge? I asked suddenly. All the time, he replied. But it won't give you what you want. What do I want? To stop hurting, he said. And trust me, revenge won't fix that. I nodded slowly. Then what will? Choosing you every damn day. Choosing peace over their chaos. I let out a long breath. He stood. Come stay at mine, just for a while. I'll think about it. Don't think too long. He started walking out, then paused. Ethan. Yeah, they lost you, not the other way around. The door closed gently behind him, and for the first time in days, I didn't feel entirely alone. I want a divorce, Laya said. Laya blinked. You're serious? I've never been more serious. She crossed her arms. Then I want support. You left me with nothing. You had Jake and the baby and my parents apparently. Her lips tightened. That child needs stability. Then ask the father, I said. She didn't respond. A week later, I sat in a sleek office across from a woman in a navy blazer. You're Ethan? Yes, I'm Sophia. Marcus said you'd call. Tell me everything. I unloaded the story, the betrayal, the pregnancy, the pressure from my parents. She took notes. Calm. Professional. She's contesting on financial grounds. Yeah. Says she's entitled to spousal support. Were you the primary earner? Yes. Length of marriage? Just under 2 years. She nodded. Short-term marriage. That'll work. You don't want revenge. I don't. Just peace. Sophia's eyes met mine. Peace is expensive if you don't fight back. I'm tired. Then let me be the one who's not. She's not who I thought she was. They never are, she replied softly. Laya's attorney sent the first letter 2 days later. It asked for monthly support and half of my savings. I stared at it. She's serious? Sophia nodded. She's bluffing on the savings, but we'll respond strategically. What's the next step? Mediation. If she refuses, we go to court. And the odds? Better than you think. At mediation, Laya walked in with that same cold look she'd worn the day she said Jake's name. Let's be civil, she said. You cheated on me with my brother, I replied. Let's not pretend this is civil. Her lawyer cleared his throat. We're here to discuss support. Sophia leaned forward. My client is not responsible for the consequences of her affair. I gave you everything, I told Laya. And I gave you years, she snapped back. Sophia turned to me. You don't have to respond. I exhaled, forcing myself to stay silent. Afterward, in Sophia's office, I sank into the chair. She's going to drag this out, isn't she? She wants control, Sophia said. We'll take it away legally. How? Counter petition. Evidence of infidelity. You have texts. I nodded. Plenty. We'll file tomorrow. I stared at the ceiling. This isn't who I am. No, she said gently, but it's who you have to be for now. Later, I called Marcus. She wants my money, I told him. She already took your heart. She doesn't get your wallet, too. I laughed bitterly. That's one way to look at it. She underestimated you. Maybe I underestimated me, too. Not anymore, he said. By week's end, Sophia had filed everything. The court date was set. I walked into that building, standing a little taller. Still broken. Still healing. But not alone, and definitely not backing down. Ethan, have you seen this? Marcus's voice came through the phone like fire. What now? I rubbed my eyes and reached for the laptop. He sent the link. A local blog headline. Family torn apart. Brother's betrayal or husband's bitterness. I clicked. There it was. My name, my face. Jake's smug grin. They're painting me as the villain, I muttered. They're claiming she left you because you were emotionally distant, Marcus said, sounding disgusted. I closed the laptop. This wasn't supposed to be a circus. You think they care? Jake loves attention. And Laya, she's spinning this like she's the one who got cheated on. That night, I got a message request from someone I didn't know. Shame on you for dragging your family through court. Then another. Maybe if you treated her better, she wouldn't have left you. I threw the phone across the couch. The next morning, Sophia looked up from her files. You've seen the articles? Yeah. We can't stop them, but we can counter them. How? Release your own statement, on your terms, publicly. I'm not one for drama. This isn't drama. This is survival. Later that day, I sat with Marcus in his living room. I'm not sure I can do this. You have to, he said. Silence looks like guilt. I took a deep breath. All right. He pulled out his phone. Say what's real. Keep it short. I looked into the camera. My wife cheated on me with my brother. Now they want my money and my silence. I won't give them either. He hit post. The video spread faster than I expected. By nightfall, it had 50,000 views. Comments poured in. You didn't deserve that. Stay strong, man. Finally, someone calling out betrayal. For the first time in weeks, the truth felt louder than the lies. But then Jake responded. A glossy video of him and Laya holding hands. We never meant to hurt anyone, he said. Love just happened, Laya added. Ethan pushed me away. I was lonely. I slammed my fist on the table. Liars. Marcus looked at me. People believe what fits their narrative. I hate this. I know. But this isn't over. Sophia called me the next morning. Their PR stunt changes nothing legally, but it's working emotionally. People are buying it. I want it to stop. Then we take control. We go to court. We win. At the first hearing, the press swarmed the courthouse, cameras flashing, questions yelling from every direction. Mr. Taylor, is it true your wife was pregnant with your brother's child? I kept walking. Inside, Laya avoided my eyes. Jake smirked like he owned the moment. The judge asked, is reconciliation off the table? Absolutely, I said. Laya's lawyer stood. My client seeks spousal support based on emotional damages. Sophia rose. Your client caused those damages. Outside, the headlines changed. Man denies support to pregnant ex-wife. Cold and calculated, or standing strong? I walked out exhausted. Marcus met me at the car. They'll keep twisting the story. I don't care anymore. Yes, you do. But you're learning how to live with it. That night, scrolling again, one comment caught my eye. Truth doesn't need a spotlight. It survives on silence and strength. I saved it. In all the noise, something inside me settled. I wasn't backing down. Ethan, Sophia said, stepping into my office. You need to see this. I looked up for my coffee. What now? She placed a folder in front of me. Bank statements, transfers, unauthorized withdrawals from our joint account months before the affair came out. I flipped through the pages. What the hell is this? Laya and Jake were siphoning money, little by little. It adds up to over $15,000. My chest tightened. They were stealing from me before they destroyed my life. She nodded. This changes everything. I leaned back. So it wasn't just betrayal, it was theft. And premeditated, she said. Which means we file criminal charges if you want. I stared at the numbers again. File everything. Marcus showed up at my door an hour later. You look like someone just validated every paranoid thought you've had for 6 months. They did, I said, handing him the papers. He scanned them. No way. They were doing this while smiling at you over dinner. Yeah. And while I was planning anniversary surprises, they were planning deposits. Marcus shook his head. Unbelievable. You going public with this? I hesitated. I don't know. Why not? Let the world see who the real villains are. Later that evening, Sophia sent a draft statement. It's factual, she said. No emotion, just truth. I read it aloud. Following recent developments, evidence has emerged of financial misconduct by my ex-wife and brother during our marriage. Legal steps are being taken. I clicked post. The reaction was immediate. They stole from him. How low can they go? Karma's got a court date. News outlets pick up. The narrative shifted. Jake posted a story. Lies, all of it. We did nothing wrong. Laya wrote, this is a smear campaign. I smiled bitterly. Truth doesn't need smearing. It stands on its own. At the next hearing, Sophia laid out the evidence. The judge raised an eyebrow, and the funds were transferred without consent. Yes, Your Honor, she said confidently. Laya's lawyer fumbled. My client was unaware of the origin of those funds. Jake leaned toward Laya, whispered something. She didn't look at him. I watched them crumble. When we left the courtroom, reporters rushed us. Ethan, do you feel vindicated? I paused. I feel seen. That night, Margaret called. Ethan, she said quietly. We didn't know about the money. You didn't want to know, I replied. We just wanted peace in the family. Then you should have started with justice, not silence. She sighed. Jake's not doing well. I'm not his keeper. He's still your brother. No, Mom. He stopped being that the night he touched my wife and the moment he robbed me. She didn't respond. I hung up. Marcus texted, You okay? I replied, for the first time in a long while, yeah. I lay back, staring at the ceiling, letting the quiet settle. Vindication isn't loud. It just feels like breathing after drowning. Marcus looked around my half-empty living room. You finally ditched that ugly couch. I laughed. It was Laya's choice. Never liked it anyway. He flopped onto the new gray love seat. This one's better. Comfortable, too. Like your life now. I walked over with 2 mugs. Black, no sugar. He took it. You remembered. I'm trying to remember who I was before all of this. You're not the same, Ethan, he said. But that's not a bad thing. I sat across from him. Some mornings I still expect her voice, that smell of her shampoo. He sipped his coffee. Yeah, healing's not a switch. It's a climb. I started painting again, I said. He blinked. Seriously? Since when? A week ago. Just landscapes for now. That's good, man. That's really good. I glanced toward the hallway. I cleared out the guest room, turned it into a small studio. He smiled. You're rebuilding. I don't even know what I'm building toward. Just feels better to be doing something. That's the point, he said. Motion heals. Later that evening, I stood in front of the blank canvas. My hands trembled at first. Then the brush touched color. A streak of blue. A streak of green. Not perfect, but mine. 2 days later, Marcus dropped by again. You really painted that? He asked, pointing to the mountain scene hanging in my hall. Every stroke, I said. Damn, maybe pain unlocked talent. Maybe, I said. Or maybe peace did. He turned serious. You talked to your parents? No, not since the last call. You ever plan to? I shrugged. I'm not angry anymore. Just done. He nodded. That's fair. I started waking up early, I said. Sunrises make more sense now. Marcus grinned. You're turning into a philosopher. I'm turning into someone I can stand. We both laughed. Later that week, I joined a local art group. Nobody asked about my past. They just handed me a brush. For 2 hours, we painted in silence, music humming in the background. It was enough. Afterward, a woman from the group came up. Your piece, it feels like freedom. I smiled. That's exactly what I was painting. Walking home, I felt it. Not happiness, not yet, but balance. I texted Marcus. I think I'm getting there. He replied instantly. Told you, brick by brick. And that night, I slept without dreams. I bumped into her at the bookstore. Literally. My coffee nearly spilled. Sorry, she said, grabbing my arm to steady me. That's my fault. I blinked. No, I wasn't watching. I was too focused on this cover. She looked at the book. Healing After Betrayal. She raised an eyebrow. Heavy read. I half laughed. Yeah, story of my life, actually. She was same. We sat in the corner with 2 coffees and a table between us. Her name was Emily. She had eyes like she'd seen storms and survived. So, she said, cheated on? Wife with my brother, I replied. Her eyes widened. Wow, that's a whole season of trauma. I smiled. You, fiancé, my best friend. People really know how to pick knives, don't they? She chuckled. That they do. There was silence, but not awkward, just real. You always talk this openly with strangers? I asked. Only the ones who look like they've lost and lived. I nodded. Yeah, that's fair. We met again the next week, then again after that. One afternoon at the park, I asked, why do you keep saying yes when I text? She looked up. Because when you talk, I don't feel broken. I don't feel like I'm faking, I whispered. She smiled. Then don't. Days passed, conversations deepened. I asked, what do you miss most? Who I used to be, before the betrayal, she said softly. But with you, I feel peace is returning. We walked in silence for a bit. Then I asked, you believe in second chances? She stopped. I believe in new beginnings with the right person. I looked at her. You think that could be us? I think we both need healing, she said. But I'm willing to try. Are you? I reached for her hand. Yeah, I think I am. Her name lit up my phone after months of silence. Ethan, can we talk? I stared at the screen, thumb hovering. Then I replied, sure. One time. That's it. We met at a small cafe, neutral ground. She looked different, tired, almost hollow. Thanks for coming, she said. I nodded. Say what you need to say. She sighed. I know I don't deserve it, but I'm sorry. For everything. Sorry for cheating, lying, or asking me to support you and Jake. She winced. All of it. I made choices I can't undo. But you made them anyway. She nodded. I was selfish. I thought I wanted more. I didn't realize what I was losing. You lost me the moment I saw you with him. I didn't think you'd ever forgive me, she whispered. I'm not here to forgive, I said calmly. I'm here to let go. Her eyes watered. Jake's not around anymore. He couldn't handle being a father. Left when the baby turned 3 months. I blinked. So now you're doing this alone. She nodded. I just wanted you to know. I do regret it every day. I believe you, I said. But regret doesn't fix the damage. I thought if we talked, maybe we could start over. I shook my head. We're standing in the ashes of what you burned. I've moved on, Laya. Her lips trembled. There's someone else. Yes. And even if there wasn't, I still wouldn't come back. She looked down. I guess I needed to hear it out loud. I needed to say it, I replied. We stood. I reached for the bill. She stopped me. Let me pay. It's the least I can do. Goodbye, Laya. Goodbye, Ethan. I walked out, and I didn't look back. Do you ever think about them? Emily asked as we walked the trail behind my cabin. Sometimes, I admitted, but not with anger anymore. She looked at me with that quiet smile of hers. That's rare, you know. Most people carry it forever. I did. For a long time, I said. But then I realized holding on meant they still had control. She slipped her hand into mine. And now, she said, now you have peace because you chose something better. We reached the ridge. The sunrise stretched across the horizon like a promise. You built all this on your own? She asked, looking at the garden, the fence, the little shed I turned into a studio. Yeah, piece by piece, nail by nail, like putting myself back together. Emily chuckled. That's poetic for a guy who cusses when he drops a hammer. Hey, even poets get splinters, she laughed, and I felt it. Joy. Real joy. She paused, turning serious. Can I ask something personal? Of course. If Laya ever came back, really came back, would you listen? I shook my head slowly. Closure isn't a door waiting to reopen. It's one I bricked over. She exhaled. Good, because I'd punch her. I grinned. Noted. The breeze picked up. Birds chirped like background music. I never thought I'd feel this calm, I said. That's because you stopped surviving and started living. I looked at her. You helped with that. I didn't fix you, Ethan. You did that yourself. I just reminded you, you were worth fixing. We stood there. No more words needed. And for the first time in a long, long time, I wasn't looking backward.